Wind River, my perspective. Guys, Wind River, it's a thriller. I'll just put it that way. It's a thriller. Came out in 2017, starring Jeremy Renner, who Marvel fans will know as Hawkeye, and Elizabeth Olsen. Again, Marvel fans will probably know her as Wanda or Scarlet Witch. I watched the movie a few days ago. I've had time to think about it. I really like this movie. It's written and directed by a guy called Taylor Sheridan, and this is the guy who wrote Sicario. He's written some other films as well. A movie called Hell or High Water, which I'm planning to review on this channel. He's into stuff like writing noirs, writing not just realistic, but it's realistic yet intense dramas, thrillers, usually revolving around certain topical issues in society. Um, but my headspace going into it was just I want to watch a really interesting thriller because those are the kind of movies that I've loved growing up. The Fugitive, stuff like that, intense, whether they're about spy stuff, the government stuff, conspiracy, someone running from. I love that kind of stuff. Or like someone, a law, or like a police, investigation, whatever. So going into this movie, one of the first big things that I liked was the character and the acting performance of Jeremy Renner and Liz Olsen, right? One of them, I won't say which, but one of them plays an officer investigating someone going on a manhunt, and another one plays someone who's helping this person go on a manhunt and has a certain expertise in the land in the area where they are, right? Now, Jeremy Renner, what I liked about his performance is that he felt quite stoic, like he just knew certain things about the situation that other people didn't. But it didn't feel like he was one of those almost like Sherlock types who was just like a know-it-all, amazingly smart. It just felt like he was, being deductive, putting things together that other people weren't as fast to do. So he still felt relatable, and I really liked that about his character. But he felt like the guy who you call him when you want to get justice. You don't just call anyone, And I really liked that about him. And then Liz Olsen, I liked her because she plays like a young, naive type of role. But what I like about her is similar to Emily Blunt. I guess a little bit similar, not exactly the same. Emily Blunt is a bit different in her case. I'm talking Emily Blunt and Sicario to compare it to. Both of those roles, Elizabeth Olsen in this film, Emily Blunt in Sicario, they play on like a naivete about the worlds that they're about to enter in, the events of the movie that are going to take place, but they don't feel stupid. And I like the line. Maybe that's more of a writing trait, positive about the writing than the acting. But she was making decisions, in my opinion, and acting in certain ways that didn't feel stupid, even if she made mistakes down the line, even if her pride, whatever, was motivating her beyond any type of logic to go deeper into certain situations. I felt like she handled it well, and I felt like they did her justice, and it didn't feel like most movies with naive characters where they just feel like so cartoonishly stupid. And that's not just a thing to do with the writing, it's something to do with her acting. She is a genuinely good actor, and I admire that. I hope to see her in more stuff outside of Marvel. Yeah, because her and Jeremy, great. What else do I like about this movie? I like that there's a certain subject matter in this movie to do with modern day America, but it's show, not tell. It's showing you a picture, a very quite bleak, horrible picture at times about something very specific in this movie. It's to do with like a certain community. minority community, and it doesn't feel like it's judging you for drawing whatever conclusion or is trying to force you to go to a certain place. It's just giving you a picture and allowing you to judge that of your own accord. I noticed that because throughout this film, like I said, there were characters who were interacting with the certain minority community in this film who felt like they had their own problems too. There was good and bad in everyone. Some people were just definitively bad, to be clear. And you'll see that in this movie, hence the bleakness. But some people just felt relatable. And I thought other movies would take characters who weren't a part of this minority community and make them seem much more less sympathetic compared to them, would emasculate them much more compared to the other people who are seen as the victims, right? I don't feel that way. I also felt like the people who were part of this community in this film and in this region where this movie was taking place, they weren't just background characters. They felt like people first who just happened to be a part of this particular group of people with certain problems that come with that. And lastly, the reason why I felt like a show don't tell kind of film is because everyone had problems in this movie. Even by the end, where I said it is about a manhunt for someone or something, I guess you could say. I don't want to spoil it. I want you guys to watch. Even at the end of this movie, there was food for thought, even coming from perpetrators who committed the crimes they did in this movie. And it is still to days after I've watched the movie, I'm still thinking about, oh wow, like I don't sympathize with what they did at all. It's the certain crimes that people commit in this movie. But do they have a point about so and so, about other things that affects the environment? Again, didn't feel preachy. Just it's showing, not telling. There's so few and far in between the stuff. I really need to watch more serious stuff like this. I say serious. There's lots of serious but preachy stuff out there. You guys know what I mean. Further, what did I like about this film? I liked the environment. It was like a snowy, kind of location. Snowy. I say snowy. I'm dumb. I'm from London, guys. It just rains over here. It snowed recently a little bit, but that's it. Forgive me. It's a snowy, like a frost place in the part of America. It takes place where, I believe in the state of Wyoming. That's where the events were, a specific place in that state. Yeah, just like the environment. It made the movie feel a bit more harsh, and I think that's what reinforced that feeling of bleakness. But also that, you know what, just like an old school, you can tell the person who wrote this movie, Taylor Sheridan, he's inspired by westerns. Just like an old school western, there is a certain type of justice in this movie, and that's what I like to feel watching movies like this. I understand sometimes you want the ambiguous, like the world is really effed up and it's not a fairy tale. But I mean, we have all our lives to think about stuff like that. Like sometimes I just want to watch a movie that's serious enough, but then on the other hand, still gives me a little bit of that hope, however it comes. And this movie gave me that. It wasn't totally depressing. I feel like people got what came to them, in my opinion, and I love that. Yeah, it reminded me of a western. That's another positive. That's pretty much my thoughts on the film. Yeah, I'm just trying to think of bad things. That's why I'm like mumbling. I can't think of any bad things. Um, Guys, I definitely recommend you watch this film. It's called Wind River. Jeremy Renner, Elizabeth Olsen. It's directed and written by the same guy who wrote Sicario, Taylor Sheridan. Please check it out. Tell me your thoughts down below if you've already seen it. Press that thumbs up button if you like this video. Feel free to check out some of my others. Share, subscribe. Other than that, guys, signing off. Salute.